Welcome to Mindshock. This is your host, Bruce McGuire, and you're listening to the live Q&A series, 36th edition. Anything and everything goes. We approach every single topic, all questions, in the live chat with logic and reason at the forefront, attempting not to fall for any logical fallacies, unlike pretty much everything else out there in the interwebs and in real life. How often has somebody had a conversation with somebody where no fallacies were used out in the real world? As always, if you enjoyed the podcast, want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case topological analysis called podcast requests. You could also be a guest on the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. Unless, of course, you are with us here live, dropped in the live chat. I'll try to get to each and every one of them. If you're not getting notifications, even the free Patreon tier will give you notifications even when YouTube does not. And you can also help support the channel by becoming a YouTube member right here on YouTube. So, welcome, Lord Zed. You actually, I think you missed a couple of streams. What should we start with tonight? Is anybody jonesing for some Alex Jones? I think we're going to start with some Alex Jones tonight. Here's a show from the other day. Some interesting antics here, to say the least, from the one and only Alex Jones. Shill or not, he might be the greatest thespian in the history of humanity. If anybody has a better one, drop their name in the chat.
Is how it protects our children, and they'll destroy our children. They want to take all of our rights away, but we're coming in to clean up the food, the water, the drugs, and get people's right to self-defense back to them, and so much more, and secure our borders, and secure our currency, and secure our future. We got big news on that for 60 seconds.
When he's in, I'm like, all right, you got to check.
So how many people have you given ultramethylene blue to?
I've given it to 8 different people, and only one of them, who's super athletic, didn't have a huge, he said it felt like a cup of coffee, but all the other guys, night and day.
Well, that's the thing, and that's in the medical literature. The more problems you have mitochondrially, and that you can be in great shape but not have good mitochondrial genetics, is the more you feel it, yeah.
Right. For me, it's like a fog lifted, but it was like a veil lifted off, you know? Incredible. Best product that I've purchased so far.
Yeah! Powered by Methylene Blue, Ultra Methylene Blue at thealexshowstore.com.
Big Brother.
Because he is Mr. Second Amendment. He was exposing the leftist globalists in the 60s, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about tomorrow's news today. And so he'll be with us to the bottom of the hour. I'm going to get into the other things I was told by folks at the DOJ yesterday. It's very important. About other major moves they're going to be making.
I also wonder who has the most live broadcast hours in the history of broadcast. Is Alex Jones in the running? Let me double check that. Val Johnson in the chat. Bruce, when will your no logical fallacy debate moderation supposed to begin? Okay, so here's the deal. Obviously, as soon as I announced that, there was a couple things that coincided with that when the main Mindshock channel went down. That was one of them. So the other issue is internet connectivity issues that I'm working on in terms of doing live ones. I'll probably be able to do a not live one pretty soon and then premiere it. So, yeah, I'll have some more updates on that within the next few days for exact dates Also scheduling a couple of very interesting interviews coming up as well. So a lot of stuff coming up. I will have news on all that before. I should be able to have it around this weekend. This 3-day weekend. A lot of big updates, a lot of big news. I'll have some time to work on a few things this weekend. Welcome, Joe. So yeah, let me double check. Who has the most live broadcast hours? Is Alex Jones in the running? Wow. So most hours on television, traditional television, is Regis Philbin. 16,746 and a half hours. Spans 52 years. Oh, this is old. This is as of September 2011. This is 15 years old. Is Regis Philbin still on? I wonder how many hours. Let me see if I can find out how many hours Alex Jones has broadcast. For some reason, I think Alex Jones. For some reason, I think Alex Jones might have more than that. So I'm seeing, like, even for radio, I want to include radio. So Regis Philbin, wow. Yes, 16,700 hours. Oh, man. Larry King, Art Bell, and Rush Limbaugh also have thousands and thousands of hours. Limbaugh, over 30 years of daily 3-hour broadcasts. Wow, yeah, Alex Jones is up there. Supposedly between 13 to 15,000 hours, so he would still be a little bit shy of Philbin. I don't know why I thought it was more. Huh. He's been active for 28 years. 3.5 hours a day, 5.5 days a week on average, 52 weeks per year is about 1,000 hours a year. So actually, it's possible he has the record here. He possibly has 27,000 hours, which would be 10,000 more than Regis Philbin. Man, Alex Jones is just a world record setter. I mean, I just had ChatGPT calculate that real quick. Now, obviously, this is all approximate, and that wouldn't include his appearances on other people's shows as well. So yeah, I think he might actually not only beat Regis Philbin, but completely smoke him in broadcast hours. I think it might be Alex Jones. What does everybody think? Huh. Let me see if we can get an Art Bell calculation. Limbaugh would be between 15 and 20,000. Art Bell actually started in the radio show in 88. Wow, that's a lot of hours. 4 hours, 5 nights a week, also about 1,000 hours per year. So that would be 12 to 14,000 hours of live radio. So it might be Alex Jones. I mean, and Alex Jones isn't even done. Alex Jones might actually hold the record. Joe Neal asks, are you aiming for the record, Bruce? I wouldn't even be close. Even if I have 1,000 episodes at 1 to 3 hours an episode, yeah, that puts me at what, 3,000? I mean, at most 5,000? Yeah, I'm not even close. I'd have to go for like at least another 10 years. Finn Hagen says, Bill Cooper warned us about Alex not to trust him. Yes, he did. And one of these guys is alive and one is not. What does everybody make of that? Joe Neal asks, what about Howard Stern? Yeah, let me get Stern, the scumbag's estimates. For some reason, I don't think Stern went that long. Okay, actually, I guess he did. Wow, he started in 1976. So he did a road. Well, actually, okay, those were brief segments. So on local radio, on a typical broadcast schedule of 3 hours, 5 days, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, from 79 to 85, he logged 5,000. Then from 86 to 2005, he did 4 to 5 hours, 17,000. Sirius XM, he did for 18 years, logging 6,000. Wow. That's interesting. Stern might actually be right up there with Alex Jones in the 20s. 20 plus thousand. Yes, Stern probably is more than Regis Philbin. Why did they give Philbin the... Oh, because it's... I think they only... Yeah, they only counted television for Philbin. So radio and or TV, Jones and Stern would both be... And how old is Stern? So Stern is 71, so he's quite a bit older than Alex, and he's approximately the same amount of hours of Alex. Maybe more, but approximately the same. So yeah, I mean, if Jones keeps going, he'll definitely be the king. Alright, Lord Zed, bring it out. Bring it out. What is this, Full House? Uncle Jesse taught Michelle karate in an episode, and he started a martial arts... Stern is... Okay. Wait a second. Are you talking about Stamos? Do we need a John Stamos podcast? He did a martial arts movie? I didn't even know that. Maybe I did know that. This sounds somewhat familiar. Let's see. Which movie? Oh, was it... Are you talking about Never Too Young to Die? That wasn't a martial arts movie, was it? Wow, Born to Ride 91 starred John Stamos as a biker turned military corporal. That actually sounds interesting. I might have to watch. I don't know. I haven't seen this. Huh. Man, we gotta watch some John Stamos action movies. What was the martial arts movie? Was it Never Too Young to Die? Is that a martial arts movie? I actually have this movie. Did we talk about this movie? I actually have this movie, and I was gonna watch it at some point. I didn't get a chance. Did we? I think we might have talked about it. We might have talked about it. Joe Neal says last decade of Stern is meaningless. Arguably 2 decades, but okay. Finn says Howard Stern died in Remember? Mandela Effect? Now he's alive again? Joe Neal says Urkel is the main dough? Urkel? What are you talking about? Urkel? In reference to what? Actually, if we count non-live, we're going to have to go with Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother, with all the hundreds and hundreds of movies that guy's in. In the most amount of hours of media appearances. Here, let me double check this. Maybe I do, Lord Zed, but I haven't watched the movie yet. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll upload a photo of my media room movie collection. Brownie points for anybody who guesses the amount of movies. Alright, let's see who has the most screen time. So, okay, if we're going voice only, Mel Blanc did tens of thousands of hours, voiced Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Tweety, Yosemite Sam, and over 1,000 other characters from the 30s to 1989. Then there's Then there's James Arness from Gunsmoke. 635 episodes, total screen time over 1,400 hours. Regis Philbin, of course, 16,746 plus. All right, let me see. I don't think they counted Eric Roberts here. So Eric Roberts has over 720 credits. Over 500 movies, over 100 TV shows. And that doesn't include voice and web content. And he's been active since 78. Oh man, it's got to be Eric Roberts. So 700 roles, approximately 20 minutes of screen time, puts him at about 14,000 minutes, which is 230 hours. And multiple episode TV arcs, etc., is another 300 to 600 hours. But that puts him at fewer hours than Regis Philbin or Don Hastings. Because movies are only approximately 90 minutes long. So he has the most acting credits and the most screen time playing different characters. But in total hours, he would actually be under 1,000. Interesting. Alright, let's do fictional content only. Let's go fictional content only. Live action TV and film, no voiceovers. Wow, so Don Hastings played Dr. Bob Hughes on As the World Turns from 1960 to 2010. Is that show still on? I never watched soap operas. Is anybody into soap operas here? I never understood soap operas. Like, why would anybody watch? It's like super low budget TV melodramatic crap. See, there's a difference between cheesy and melodramatic. Cheesy is awesome. But melodramatic, I mean, just for the sake of being melodramatic, that's not in the same category as cheesy. Finn says, please can we have our Bill Hicks back? Lord Zed says, they shoot a reboot Urkel or make a movie? What? Or are they? Steve Urkel? We're talking about Steve Urkel now? If you're talking about Steve Urkel trends, though, what's up with, like, the fashion trend for women and girls? They all wear their pants or shorts like Steve Urkel now, like crazy hiked up. It's kind of weird. It's been like that for a couple years now. I don't know what's up with that. Steve Urkel fashion has made a comeback. Lord Zed, Eric Roberts is in the most amount of movies. But apparently... Okay, so As the World Turns... Is this still going? Oh, no. Okay, it stopped September 17th, 2010. So it was a sister show to Guiding Light, which started in 52 and ran to 2009. Wow. Okay, so I have a question. See, I never watched soap operas. For the people that watch soap operas, like, how does this work when it's multi-generational like that? So do they have kids? Like, do the storylines continue multi-generationally? Because if the show is on for like 60 years, obviously the older characters are going to die that are already, let's say, in their, middle to old age when the show starts. Does anybody here watch soap operas? Like, do they just come up? I'm assuming the storylines have to sort of be continuous from the beginning, or no? Or do they just go completely with new characters, new storylines? Who's starred in the most movies? Okay, let me try to see that. Might be. I mean, yeah, that's a good question. I don't think it's Eric Roberts. He usually does smaller roles, so it might not be Eric Roberts. Some of this stuff would take a while to find out without a. Actually, apparently, it is Eric Roberts because even though he has over 720 credits, 400 of them were in a lead role. So it is so it might be Eric Roberts. John Wayne did about 140. See, is it lead or co-lead? Because AI is counting co-leads here. Like if there's two main characters, technically that would still count. Christopher Lee did about 280. Oh, over 280. Oh, okay. 100 to 120 leads across 280 films because he was often the villain. Chakraborty was in over 350 films in Bollywood, the lead in most of them. Apparently it's Eric Roberts. Because he was across 720. Apparently, more than half of them, he was the lead. Then as far as like major A-listers, it looks like it's Nick Cage. 80 to 100 leads. Wow, we're going over some interesting stats today. Joe Neal says, you describe soap operas correctly, generational. So, I mean, that actually makes soap operas like a little bit more interesting if they weren't so dry and poorly acted and poorly written. But, so, for example, some middle-aged people, they have a kid. The kid grows up, gets married, has another kid. So the storylines include all those generations and whatever there's going on with, like, work or, I don't know. I don't even know what they go over in a soap opera. People have affairs and get into comas. That's pretty much what it's known for. But, so the characters, I'm assuming some of the older characters would still be recurring. So there's like multiple multi-generational plot lines. That's actually kind of interesting. If it was actually high budget and like, you know, regular TV as opposed to soaps, it might be kind of interesting. Although very time consuming to watch all of that. Are people that are into soaps, do they watch multiple soaps? Because imagine how much time that takes. Like, let's say you watch 3 or 4 soaps for 50 years. I mean, and what if you also like movies and other TV shows? Like, where's the time? Where's the time? Who has the time to like soap opera, or at least more than one soap? I can understand maybe keeping up with one soap. But if you're a big fan of soap operas and you're following 3 or 4 soaps simultaneously for 50 years, how do you have time to do anything else? Lord Zed says, anyone close to Roberts? All right, let's see. That Bollywood guy, Chakraborty, has 350 to 400. James Hong has 460. Danny Trejo has between 440 and 460. Yeah, nobody's anywhere near 700, though. Man, Eric Roberts stands alone. I mean, this guy, over 720 films. I mean, nobody's even close. I don't think anybody else has even broken 500. But James Hong was at 460. Danny Trejo around 440. Richard Ryle? I don't know who this is. 425. But he's usually in small roles. Christopher Lee, 280. Robert Loggia, 230. Voice actors, there's a lot. Frank Welker has over 850, known for Scooby-Doo, Transformers, Every Animal Sound in Hollywood. D. Bradley Baker, over 500. D. Bradley Baker, Tara Strong, Tom Kenny, over 500 to 700 plus. But that's voiceover. So, live action, Eric Roberts stands alone, 720. James Hong, number 2 at 460. Danny Trejo at 440 to 450. He's done so many, like, indie movies. I guess they don't even know exactly how many. Richard Ryle 425, Christopher Lee 280, John Carradine 225 to 230, Robert Loggy around 230. So yeah, it's Eric Roberts and James Hong. I think I actually picked James Hong before I knew about how many Roberts had done. Lord Zed says, my mom watched All My Children, and when the lady stabbed her husband, I was little when I saw it, and it messed me up. Yeah, some of those soap operas are dark. Joe Neal says, to an extent, but when the actors retire, the character is written out. But are the characters still referenced, though? Like, are there continuous overlapping storylines? Welcome, Weighty MC1. New subby to the channel after watching AI dish out fallacy after fallacy. Nice to be on board. Alright, let's get back to Alex Jones here. Let's see what kind of antics he's going to get into.
And I didn't know it was going to be this quick, but DOJ charges USH staffer in wide-ranging corruption probe. I told you last night, big stuff about to go down. They're about to go on massive offense. New task force for him with power all over the country. You and J6ers and Trump can't charge the crime. Leave it at that. Exploding and all of it by mass pardons. And they're setting up basically anybody that wasn't convicted of a violent crime federally in a felony will be able to go through a very quick and easy process to get their rights back that were illegally unconstitutionally taken. And the courts have already ruled the 68 Control Act is unconstitutional, but the bureaucracy won't get rid of it. And that's on record. And so this is a big deal. And the process is being set up right now, and we're probably a month out from the details being Ted Nugent. This is about to happen. There's people that have got felony convictions. When you got out of prison for even manslaughter after 10 years, you got your guns back. You've seen the old Westerns based on true stories where, like High Plains Drifter, when the bad guys get out of jail, they give them their guns back and they go, where are our horses? They go, what do you think you've been eating the last year? So, look, it's common sense. Now, some would say go further, even let violent felons have their guns. That's not the plan. That's how they're going to spin it. But Ted Nugent, the grand poobah.
Oh man, the thespianism off the charts here. All right, Weighty MC. Yeah, it's Q&A. You can ask any questions you want. We go over any and all topics. We meander a bit. We talk about Alex Jones and Steven Seagal a lot, and Roller Jam. Weighty MC says, I'm into chemtrails massively. Is that a subject sufficient? I'm unsure. Yeah, you could ask a question about chemtrails. I mean, I do have a deep dive on that coming up. I believe I think I went over it on a live Q&A one time. Just over 100 patents specific to geoengineering and aerosol spraying. I mean, that's enough receipts to drown even the most devout coincidence theorists and authority-worshipping cultists. I mean, this is kind of more of a hangout than a live Q&A, I guess. I guess a hangout would be a little bit more appropriately termed. But, yeah. Dylan says chemtrails piss me off. Yeah, you guys want to go over something really crazy? You guys want to go over something really crazy? The antidote to geoengineering, the antidote to chemtrails, and it's free. Should I drop the receipts right now? Is that going to be mind-shocking? Ted Nugent, the grand poobah. Justin says, he who controls the weather controls the world. Yeah, kind of. Dylan says, the only thing that pisses me off more than chemtrails is the people who think they are condensation. Well, that's cognitive dissonance for you. Mental weakness at play. They have to pretend because they're too mentally weak and mentally deficient to consider the possibility that they're living in a world where people do bad things. They don't have the mental strength to confront that. They're too mentally weak. Anybody want a major receipt on how to detox from chemtrails, and it's all 100% free? Malcolm says yes. Malcolm's the only one interested in one of the most major mind shocks I've ever dropped in the history of Mindshock here. He's the only one interested. I got some major receipts. You can also reverse aging for free. Is that a bold claim? Is that a bold claim? Here on Mindshock, I always bring the receipts. I don't think anybody's ready for this level of receipt, though. Heracles says I need a good detox. Dylan says grounding. Grounding is awesome, but no, it's not grounding. Grounding in conjunction with what I'm about to drop, which I think the amount of people that have talked about this is less than 5 in the history of the internet. I actually can only think of 1. Other than what I'm about to drop right here. WayDMC says stay indoors is the only true way. Incorrect. The air indoors comes from outdoors. Now, obviously, it would be reduced, especially if you have a good HVAC system, but I don't know. I'm not getting any excitement here from the receipt that I'm about to drop. I guess I won't drop it then. Nobody's excited except who wanted to know it. Malcolm. Malcolm's the only one that said yes. Lord Zed says I'm excited. I'm about to drop something that less than 5 people have ever talked about on the internet. It might be less than 3. I don't know. It might be less than 3. Let me first bring up a video of a crazy guy. This is the first guy I'd ever seen talk about it. I think there's 2 guys that talked about it. This is the first guy. Give me a second. I'm going to bring it up. Now, he is a former NASA scientist, but for the people that are going to find credibility issues with this guy, I don't think he did anything space related. Let me double check. I wonder if the stream's going to get shut down for what I'm about to drop right now. I don't think it will because people have talked about the general topic, just not this particular receipt, which I'm about to drop here. One second. Probably should take some bets onto whether or not the stream's going to get shut down. I don't think it will. Just because of the nature of the topic, it's not exactly conspiratorial. It's more like science that nobody talks about. Biology that nobody talks about. That is kind of the secret to perfect health and anti-aging. Everybody talks about supplements and all this stuff, which is good. Obviously, they can help with that. But are they the Holy Grail? What I'm about to drop is the Holy Grail. What a bold claim from Bruce McGuire. When has Bruce McGuire not delivered on a bold claim like that? I'm about to drop the Holy Grail of perfect human health and anti-aging. Yeah, not medical advice. Of course it's not medical advice. There's no advice here of any kind on anything. Financial, medical, or otherwise. Alright, who's ready? It's time. It's time. Watch the stream get shut down right now after I said it. Nah, I really don't think it will. This is Dr. August Dunning, worked for NASA. I don't know the exact capacity. I don't think he had anything to do with space division, their space division or anything. No, it's not methylene blue. Get ready, people. Hope everybody's sitting down for this. This is what live Q&As are all about. You never know where the topic's gonna go. Here's the Holy Grail.
Okay, today let's talk about chaperone mediated autophagy, because every day of every second of your life, your body is making proteins. And they work for a while, then they don't, and they have to get rid of. You got to get rid of these proteins. They're broken, they're folded, they're not doing any good, they're just wasting space and creating toxic cytokines. So the idea here is during this later phase of autophagy, chaperone mediated, you've got your macrophages taking big cargo, you got microphages taking the smaller stuff and organelles. Now you got this stuff. In this particular point in time, it's kind of two directions. One are the chaperones that will take this stuff to a lysosome, and too big for these chaperones to get, and they have to go to a different system. So let's talk about chaperone first. Chaperone's pretty easy. There are these proteins that get attached to the folded protein if they're short enough. The chaperones are taking these molecules to the surface, they're feeding the proteins in, they're unlacing and going inside the cell. It's a beautiful thing. The other system is that other one. If they're too big, okay, and they're brought over to a ubiquinone proteasome grinding tool, basically there's a molecular head that lifts up in response to the magnetic field effects of this thing binding with it, and it gets inside of it, goes into a little chipper, like so, comes out as little strings of amino acids and peptides. Those are small enough for the cytosol to dissolve back into amino acids so the cell can make more protein. But the thing about this is it doesn't kick in until hour 10. So if you're at hour 10, after going to sleep at 8 o'clock in the evening, where are you? 6 in the morning? 7, 8 in the morning? You're ready to eat. And so that short period of time where this thing finally kicks in, you're just cutting it off. Time, okay? And these proteins build up. They lead to senescence.
So just some context here. So he's talking about chaperone-mediated autophagy, and this is not water fasting. This is dry fasting. You cannot drink water. Now, we're going to get a little deeper in a moment, but this is the Holy Grail. When you drink water, you're not killing all the parasites, and the chaperone, you're not really getting into chaperone-mediated autophagy because there's so much water available in your system. So all of the parasites are living off of it. Your autophagy really isn't going into overdrive. It's quite minimal. Now, when you dry fast, again, not medical advice. Obviously, nobody should do this. This guy's definitely a kook who doesn't know what he's talking about. We're just examining this to laugh at it. Nobody should ever, ever dry fast or fast of any kind. But when you dry fast, some people do it for even 7, 9, 12 days, no water at all. So your body actually starts pulling the water from the cells, increasing the autophagy exponentially. Some people estimate around 300% more effectively. Then you're going to get into chaperone-mediated autophagy, where he'll finish explaining it. Then I have one other video where he kind of gives a more general overview. And again, nobody should ever be doing any of this. We are just going over this to say not to do it. I mean, these are all theoretical benefits. So, weight EMC, supposedly you're not going to get any real benefits until around I'm talking crazy benefits. Chaperone-mediated autophagy in overdrive, stem cell production to heal anything in the body. We're talking any disease, any physical injury at around the 72nd hour of no water. Again, don't ever do this. This is all theoretical. Nothing I'm saying is true. Yes, it obviously can be dangerous. There's the kind of the pioneer of dry fasting is actually a Siberian doctor. I always forget this guy's name. Oh, Sergei Filanov, for people who don't know. So supposedly he's cured all these people of, stage 4 brain cancers, leukemia, anything and everything. I'm sure it's all not true. But, yeah, basically his advanced dry fast is something like 12 days, and not everybody survives. Wait, EMC has 10 hours of fasting till it makes a difference. Well, I think even the first benefits don't really kick in until around the 12th or 13th hour, but they're really minimal. You really got to make it to 72, supposedly. Again, this is all theoretical here. All theoretical. And on a hard dry fast, you can't even come into contact with water. So you can't wash your hands, you can't take a shower, you can't brush your teeth because your body will pull that water in. That's a hard, dry fast. Yes, the real danger is coming out of the fast. Again, hypothetically, I wouldn't really know anything about any of this stuff. This is all hypothetical for entertainment purposes only. And not medical advice of any kind. These are all claims. Obviously, none of them are true. So, yeah, let's continue here.
In essence, needs to be dealt with either in this way to control that action, or of course take piston, easy stuff. But theoretically, if you control the amount of these broken proteins because you're providing the component parts during nutrition and exercise and hormonal release during that exercise to start your body into a regeneration cycle, then and dry fasting certainly does that. You're supposed to feed the thing during the time you're eating, and then not feed it at all anything during the time you're repairing. I mean, that's why digestion confounds this whole thing, because digestion takes energy. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll be getting into some of the finer aspects. People have asked about the endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah, I know. And the Golgi bodies, which are intimately involved in this and stacking proteins and stuff. And That was in response to how does this stuff actually happen? Well, there's a series of steps out of the nucleus where proteins are entered into the Golgi bodies to be made into larger protein groups to be able to be useful in the body. Your body is constantly making proteins, like I said at the beginning, and because of that, your body is constantly having to get rid of them. And that's what these two autophagies do. Talk to you soon.
Where'd it go? Let's head out this way. Walk up the beach. Less people. Hi, my name is August, and we promote dry fasting on this channel, how to do it safely, how to recover from it correctly, and get all the benefits from it, because there's a lot of benefits. First time here, that's what we do. Anyway, so here's the deal. Today we're going to talk about a specific topic as we do this on these beach walks. This beach walk is going to be about the ubiquitone proteasome system, the degradation system in your cells. You know, there's a lot of forever chemicals coming in from all these plastics and all this stuff, and your body can't get rid of them at night. They build up and cause all kinds of problems over time. So the idea here is to turn on autophagy to get to these things and have them ground down at night. Here's the problem. Autophagy. You know, every night you go into autophagy, there's 3 different phases. There's macro, micro, and chaperone mediated. The first 2, they don't take care of these big problems. It's usually junk inside the cells you're getting rid of. But the third one, chaperone mediated, uses chaperone, usually ubiquinone, to attach to a molecule that needs to be degraded, drag it over to a lysosome, and start grinding it down with hydrolytic enzymes, 50 of them. And that's great, because you're doing that all the time anyway. You're getting rid of debris as you can in the cells, and that's how it's done. Problem is these big molecules, these plastics, because they're all bent up and weird. It takes time. It takes time to break those down. So in a dry fast, because you're doing it for days on end in this state, like at least 5 days on a 7-day dry fast, you're in this state where nothing can survive this stuff. None of these toxins, none of these parasites, none of this stuff, because that's the strength of chaperone-mediated autophagy. It can get rid of these molecules that manufacture protein. Need I say more?
Is everybody following here? I mean, this guy just dropped probably the holy grail of health casually walking on a beach. I mean, that was probably the holy grail there. Chaperone-mediated autophagy can get rid of everything that can't be gotten rid of in your body. And supposedly this is the only way to do it. Again, this is Mindshok. I do not claim anything is true or untrue. The motto here, of course, is the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. Just look up August Dunning on YouTube. August Dunning. You can get his book, too, The Phoenix Protocol. It's excellent. I would also read up on Anatoly Filanov, though. He's kind of the pioneer of dry fasting, of no water fasting. There are certain things that Dunning disagrees with Filanov on. But if you're interested in the topic, definitely read both of them. And then you can draw your own conclusions. Actually, Malcolm, supposedly diabetics of both types are completely cured with dry fast. But obviously, you just don't jump into the deep end. You gotta start small. I mean, just like jogging. If you're obese and you jog for try to jog 5 miles, you might literally drop dead. You might. You know, baby steps. You got to get used to the stress of the fast, the healing stress. Theoretically, again, I don't really know. I mean, this is probably all wrong. We're just watching this for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, chaperone-mediated autophagy.
It gets rid of the things that that manufactured protein machine was delivered with. Need I say more? So that's one way to get rid of that problem. Seriously. A couple of 5-day dry fasts, spaced a couple of months apart, and measure your levels. My point is this: because it's so effective, it can get rid of even that stuff. So what you need to do is extend it in any way you can. One way that people don't think about is because it only turns on late at night. You only get into chaperone mediated autophagy somewhere around 6 in the morning. It's the last one to kick in. And that's when all the really hard stuff is ground up. Most people wake up at 7 or 8, they eat, they get to work. As soon as you eat, it turns off. So you've turned it off 2 or 3 hours after it's turned on, after you've waited 6 to 8 hours for it to turn on. It's a problem. Not really. Don't eat till about 11 o'clock. If you can fast in the morning after the dry fast, which is sleep, and not eat till 10 or 11, you've extended that grinding time from 2 to 3 to maybe 4 to 5 or 6 hours. Something to consider, because it's that important now that we're exposed to so many toxins, plastics, and all the other garbage right now. So that's kind of the message today. If you want to get rid of these problems, one of the ways is to activate the last phase of autophagy, chaperone-mediated autophagy. I talk about it in my book, The Phoenix Protocol. I talk about it in my book, New Genesis. I talk about it in my latest book, A Philosophy of Time Travel. This is one of the biggest deals. You have to get these things out of your body. It's like an albatross around your neck, metabolically. So that's the deal. And I'm, my attention is being diverted out to the ocean. You see this waves coming in? I've waited weeks for these waves to come in. So you know what? I think what I'm going to do is head back to the ranch and get my board. Got myself an offshore board meeting. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Look down below if you're new here and read some of the other videos, and especially the testimonials of people that have tried this and have used it and have succeeded.
Yeah, so August Dunning doesn't do hard dry fast, so he does showers, and I think he does brushing his teeth, and he does hot tubbing and stuff during his dry fast. So, Tina says, I've upped my water intake recently. No, that's good. That's good. When you're not fasting, I mean, obviously you got to stay well hydrated. You know what's curious? So, again, not that I know anything about this, but again, hypothetically, from what I've heard, theoretically, hypothetically, dry fasting is way easier than water fasting because you're not drinking anything, so your digestive system is never even activated. So you don't get hungry. It's not hard to do it. Like even 3-4 days in, you're not going to be hungry. So, yeah. Lord Zed says, I'm a lion. I need like 1 horse, then I'm good for a week. Horse as in grilled cheese, tomato, ice cream, lettuce, and a lot of lettuce. Joe says, don't do it, bro. Yeah, the other thing to really watch out for, supposedly it's dangerous to go from a water fast to a dry fast. So if you're drinking nothing but water for a few days and then switch to dry, that's not good. But the other way around is excellent because you've been on a dry fast, now you got to hydrate. Now, you actually could die if you hydrate too quickly. So if you drink too much water coming out of the fast, people have died. So, supposedly, again, not that I know anything about this or that any of this is true, but, yeah, not medical advice, all entertainment purposes here. If, you just sip like 1 or 2 ounces every 20 minutes for the day, and then later, at the end of the day or the next day, then you could drink more. Okay. Dylan says, I just started getting my water from the healing spring a few towns over. Yeah, I mean, if you should not be dehydrated at any point unless you're dry fasting. So if you dry fast once or twice a year, that's the only time you're not going to be hydrated. And the day before you do a dry fast, obviously you would mega hydrate. Like lots of fruits, lots of water, a lot of electrolytes. And coming out of it slowly. All right. Anyway, so yeah, all that stuff like glycophosphate, all that poison, microplastics, you can actually get rid of it all for free. chaperone mediated autophagy. How do you get in that state? All you gotta do is not eat or drink. Again, not advised. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Definitely not telling anybody to do that. All right. Anybody have any questions about fasting? So you got Dr. August Dunning here with the Phoenix Protocol, which is not a hard dry fast, it's called a soft dry fast. So you could still come in contact with water, you just can't drink it. And yeah, Dylan says I'm doing it. Well, make sure, again, I'm not advising anybody to do it, especially not in hot weather. But yeah, no, definitely do a ton of research and start slow. If I did fast, I'm not saying I did, the hardest one I ever would have done if I did one, which I didn't, was about 15 hours. Many years ago, which obviously I didn't do this, I'm just, role playing here. The 15-hour one is the hardest. And then, yeah, now if I fasted, well, I'm not saying I do, or to do it, a couple days is easy. No water, and then just a couple days on water. I haven't done any kind of super long fast. But yeah, I mean, most of the benefits, again, theoretically, they're a lot of, not that there aren't, obviously the physical benefits are incredible, but the mental and spiritual benefits are really why a lot of people fast. All right, let's get back to Alex Jones.
Of Americana, and I didn't even know this would line up today, the 50th anniversary of the rock and roll undisputed anthem. Sorry, Elvis, you don't get it. The Motor City Patriot, the madman of liberty, Ted Nugent. TedNugent.com. Great to have you here.
Well, back at you, Alex. A big ditto to you. And I don't know if in the past I've given you the Ted Nugent Swinging T-Rex Scrotum of Freedom Award, but you get it every day because truth, logic, and common sense. Believe me, Alex, I'm still running all over this country. I'm playing the greatest rhythm and blues, soul.
For people who don't get fasting, Dylan says, my grandma always thinks there's something wrong with me when I fast. She always says that I should eat something. Well, ask her, when you're sleeping, should you eat something? When you're showering, should you eat something? When you're doing hard exercise in the middle of sprinting or playing a sport, in the middle of a full sprint, should you be eating or drinking? Everything is a cycle. During your fast cycle, you don't. Same way as you don't while you're sleeping, or you don't while you're doing hard exercise. You could do after and before, sure, but not during. I mean, there's actually a grand food conspiracy. It's not just about the quality of food, all that GMO filth. It's not just about that. It's about the constant media advertising campaigns to get people to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, think about it. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day, isn't that that's the least important? That breaks the fast the soonest. It gets your metabolism in action, taking valuable resources away from healing your body. I mean, skipping breakfast and dinner is probably the fastest way to get healthy for people who are obese or have various health issues. All theoretical for entertainment purposes. I'm not claiming that's true in any way. Isn't it crazy where we live in a society where that even needs to be said? Like, you're not allowed to just throw ideas at the wall without all the goofs getting triggered. Like, you could talk about sci-fi aliens and other planets, but to talk about, any kind of potential non-mainstream health always requires disclaimers. Ew, Dylan says she microwaves a lot. Ah, that's a lot of mutated proteins in that microwave radiation. Yeah, some people do one meal a day. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing hard labor, you might, or you're an elite athlete, you might need more than one. Depending on the metabolism, etc. When I was younger and more into sports, I mean, I can't say that I needed it, but I felt good eating multiple times a day and a lot of carbs. But if you're not doing hard manual labor or something really athletic or physical all day, you might. I mean, I don't know if you could get away with one meal a day if you do that. I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But yeah, I mean, eating late at night, especially after work, that's the worst because then your body doesn't get to heal when you sleep. Theoretically, well, for entertainment purposes.
Music, rock and roll, in the history of my life. You can comment to the for President Law Gun Control Act that makes to hallelujah.
You talk to the president.
Is having financial support.
Trump wants to give guns out to criminals and kill everybody, but they're the ones that order police to stand down, like Tampon Tim in Minnesota and all the rest of it. I mean, no one's going to buy this. Americans, finally, we're winning the info war of hearts and minds the last decade or so. I know you agree. I wanted to hear you expand on that, where people now fundamentally get the Democrats have armed security. In Minneapolis, when they disbanded half the police, they, at the city council, hired multi-million-dollar private security. They've all got security. They don't want us to have our own right to security. It is an outrageous, tyrannical instinct to disarm the general public. That's the plan. The left isn't misled. They're not idiots. They're tyrants, and they understand that, and they've done it all over the world, and we're one of the last nations standing. But do you agree, though, on the 50th anniversary of Stranglehold, that we are now winning and winning big time?
Yeah, we finally got a commander-in-chief that respects and reveres the Constitution, the self-definite truth, and return the invite fishing. Obviously, I like the ace government. Notice when out of the Democrats' mouth should inspire.
I mean, he's the Patrick Henry of our generation. Anybody else did in raising the alarm. What is your analysis of the first 120 days of the Trump administration? I mean, he's only as strong as
dogs and shaman. They should go to in America for money break because Texas Alex Jones.
Absolutely. Will you please send me a hat?
It's about the middle
and the whole family, and we.com. Begun. Info goes the great Ted Nugent month by fraudulent network. But there's a in federal court shipped right out iodine. Nobody 3 or 4 hours later. Extremely surprising and why. Go read the reviews. Also,
of the new
Obama want you eat bugs while they eat ribeye.
New World Order. It's Alex Jones.
Trump doesn't want you eating bugs. He wants you. Look at George Soros. Look at Alexander Soros. Look! Their actions are pure evil, and they look like serial killers. Look! 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 Look at George Soros. Look at Alexander Soros. Look! Their actions are pure evil, and they look like serial killers or something, because they are. Did you let Alexander Soros babysit your daughter or son? Actions are pure evil, and they look. Babysit your daughter or son. Babysit your daughter or son. Babysit your daughter or son. Babysit your daughter or son.
That was one of the funniest, you know what I'm saying, I've ever heard. Oh, man. Oh, man. Serious business. How's it going? Chin Chin, welcome. You know, it's a good question. I mean, does Steven Seagal fast, and would it cure his thyroid issue? I wonder if Steven Seagal hasn't actually done any long-term hard dry fasting.
Married to Uba Abedin, the pedo handler for Wiener. He's some bad hombres. El Diablo, that's the bad man right there. Your cells know that's an enemy. Your skin crawls. And they know your skin crawls. They hate themselves and they hate you. They're projecting their hatred of themselves onto you. Well, guess what? I love myself and I love you. They're projecting their hatred of themselves onto you. And Trump, they're projecting their hatred of themselves onto you. Well, guess what? I love myself and I love you. And Trump loves himself and he loves you. Hatred of themselves onto you. Well, guess what? I love myself and I love you. And Trump loves himself and he loves you.
So Alex is from Texas, but he never really does that southern drawl accent, but he busted it out here. I mean, who's a greater thespian with more accents in their repertoire than Alex Jones? One of my favorites is the Queen of England. Actually, we got to do a quick aside on the accents. Hold on, I'm going to bring up a clip of the best Alex Jones' greatest hits when it comes to accents.
I'm not bending. Spoons, jackass. I'm not bending spoons, jackass. These crazy right-wingers think there's a world government forming. I mean, it's just like, what? What? Everyone's like, oh. It's a plan. And I'm angry. I'm not a slave. I've broken the conditioning. It doesn't work on me. I'm primitive. I'm real. I know the enemy. And if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist. Break the conditioning now. Excuse me. You have a strong will for one who's only lived one life. Ho, 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 teeny Jedi. I love it. We wear fluffy socks. Ice cream. Bring me 15 hookers now and get the drugs ready and take me to the private island. Get the satanic rituals ready. Dark sorcerers, total power. Are you racist? I have ice cream. I have cookies. I have candy, 5-year-old. Puppy, puppy, I have a puppy. You love puppies. I know who the enemy is, and let me tell you, they are vicious wolves who hate you and your family. Enter here at your own risk and doom. Come and drink from the well. Join us. I'm no tough guy, but I couldn't control myself. From my cold, dead hand, you sons of bitches. You got that? I'm sick of it. This is really fun. Let's have this knife fight for no reason, but so a bunch of bankers can try to take over. Let's do this. This is a really great idea. Guns are bad, men are bad. Guns are bad, men are bad. Bad. Bad, I'm gonna go home and cry tonight because you bossed me around. Oh, I gotta do what you say because you're so liberal. You're a flaming fascist piece of trash, control freak, divide and conquer, maggot, failure, piece of crap. Excuse me. I break free of your mind control, filth. Answer the question.
No. Would you stop screaming?
Answer the question! Answer it!
Troll alert! Turn in your gun, submit, drink the fluoride, take the vaccine. Ooh, see? No more pain now. No more thinking now. Oh, yes. Families are bad.
They'll never come together and raise strong children, and then our program will be complete. Thank you, Satan, for all your love.
And that's what the combat robots are going to be for. And the surveillance grid and the predictive systems to know when you're going to stand up. I'm Satan, the spirit of the destroyer that is destroying the planet with genetic engineering, mutilating God's creation and vandalizing the human species, the Creator's greatest creation in his image. And my plan is to sell you on destroying yourself and your family and loving death and turning off your survival mechanism and destroying your family so the state and the computer robot age can corner every last one of you and slowly suck the life force out of you into the black of deep space. How do we defeat them?
Prepare for me to take you. Look at the public. They're so weak. They're just ready to be dominated. It's your fault we gotta kill kids. We're liberal. You're not. Get used to it.
I don't care what you think you are, if you think you're a dog or the Easter Bunny, or a Keebler elf on PCP from Clandathu. Elf on PCP from Clandathu. Elf on PCP from Clandathu. PCP from Clandathu.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I kill my kids. Well, but it's nice to be sweet to babies. I kill my kids. I kill them. I kill them. I kill them. I kill them. Wow. I've starved species greater than you.
They don't take vaccines either, but you and your children do. Do the right thing. Kill yourself and your children for Big Pharma. The earth belongs to them. Give the children the vaccine. Don't listen to these.
And I want us to win, and we're going to, scumbag. Get out of our way. Get out. Get out of our way, Satan.
Get behind me, Satan.
And at a certain point, you just say, what the hell happened to these people?
Yeah, they're like demons from hell, just right on that dimensional line, just trying to get control as fast as they can. These people are not frickin' humans, okay? Hillary Clinton is a goddamn demon. I saw a poop swastika, and I stink and I love Satan. I got a life force. This is a human. This is what we look like. This is what we act like. This is what everybody was like before us. This is what I am. I'm a throwback. I'm here. I've got the fire of human liberty. I'm setting fires everywhere, and humans are turning on everywhere. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons.
I came knocking on your door 1,000,000 times, and you laughed at me.
More blood of the innocent.
Who can guess my favorite Alex Jones impression? I'm gonna play it right now. Who can guess Bruce McGuire's favorite Alex Jones impression? You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Half. Quarter. 1/8 of a second. 1/16 of a second. 1/32nd of a second. 1/64th of a second. Malcolm says TCP. Who's TCP? Chin Chin says, I don't know, they are all so good. Who's TCP? TCP? Well, no, it's a person. It's a person. Oh, maybe somebody got it. Maybe somebody got it. I'm not going to say who, but I'll just play it right now and then everybody will know.
Meanwhile, you have Meanwhile, you have the Prince Charles and his haggling Camilla Bowles, or whatever her name is, Camilla Parker Bowles. There are people rampaging all over London about having their tuitions tripled. Oh, but the taxes are all going up. But see, everything goes to the bankers. See, they don't need you anymore. They grew their government. They got you addicted to it. Their police state and telescreens and face scanners are in place. They don't need you. So the people are running around, and they threw some bags of paint on the car reportedly and yelled at them and said off with their head. And the head of the Metro Police in London says they were lucky not to be shot. Police chief says armed officers showed enormous restraint as mob attacked Charles and Camilla. I've seen the video. It's pretty ninnying. It's people slapping on the windows, and Camilla Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Detritus, or whatever her name is, the Duchess of Filth, the Duchess of Garbage. You know, people say that these criminals don't run anything. 2 years ago in Canada, the Queen used the Governor General to shut down the Parliament because they didn't do what she wanted. Happened in '79, in the late 70s in Australia. I mean, this is a criminal organization. So the mob boss's son with his hag are all dressed up in their strumpet outfits, and the Duchess of Detritus and the Prince of Puke were just... I mean, the video's online. We've got it linked up on Infowars.com and PresidentPlanet.com. They're literally like, oh, good Lord, as a rabble, go, put more fluoride in their water immediately. Brain damage to them. Their IQs aren't dropping enough or fast enough. They're not submitting to us. More surveillance cameras, more armed troops, more police state immediately. I mean, it's a frightening prospect, a horrifying. They're saying off with their heads. No, I mean, that's what they're doing. And the victor's like, the roaches are scurrying about. Prince Philip has tried to eliminate them, and we've overrun the nation with brooding foreigners we can use to put it into the police force and the CPS to kidnap their children. But these filthy Brits who don't like our German royal family that runs everything, the Saxe-Coburg-Goethers, and we will deal with them. I mean, literally, Charles looked even more effeminate than his wife, just going, oh, protect me, royal guard. But, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I mean, how is he this good? I mean, this is supernatural thespianistic ability. Not just the hand wave. I mean, the mannerisms, the way that his voice just kind of trails off with that accent as he's making all those weird noises. I mean, this might be Alex Jones's finest hour. And no matter how many times I watch this, I just can't stop laughing.
You can tell both of them almost did a Queen Elizabeth II in their pants. You know, I don't usually do potty humor, but around the office, you know, when somebody's got to get out of a meeting or something, they're like, I'm sorry, it'll just be a Rockefeller. You know, that means a quick, you know, minute or two. But sometimes they go, hey, I got to do a Queen Elizabeth II, number 2. And, all right, folks, I apologize to our radio stations. It's a very family-friendly, clean show. But when I started imitating the royals, the rabble filth, and look at them running around like vermin in the streets. I can't wait till our world government extermination force is in place to remove as many of them as possible. Oh, I love sucking off of them, but goodness,
I like to go out to the theater dressed up like an effeminate peacock with all of my medals festooning my breast, with my haglet wearing a giant crown on her head. But to actually see them turn against me, I guess all those PR shows we finance telling them how weak and pathetic we are aren't working. They actually know that we're the ones sucking everything out of them. I just lectured them last month that they shouldn't take a hot bath, but I have royal trains and 77 aircraft and 94 palaces, but they shouldn't be able to take a hot bath. And I'm so pleased that the old ladies have to ride in the buses to stay warm now because they can't pay for their gas allowance. But you know, we're heating all of our palaces quite nicely, and after we've exterminated all of you, we're going to have plenty. Enormous garbage trumpet. The rabble go, put more fluoride in there. The rabble go, the rabble go, the rabble go.
Oh man. I could totally watch an entire comedy special of Jones just doing the royal family. And the vocabulary of Jones is also absolutely unrivaled. I mean, this is the kind of thespian that comes along once in a lifetime. Maybe once in the history of humanity. Or the history of existence itself. I mean, this is a once-ever talent here. The thespianistic ability of Alex Jones might never, ever be rivaled.
We've got it linked up on Infowars.com and PresentPlanet.com. They're literally like, oh, good Lord, the rabble go, put more fluoride in their water immediately. Brain damage to them. Their IQs aren't dropping enough or fast enough. They're not submitting to us. More surveillance cameras, more armed troops, more police state immediately. This is in your state immediately. This is in your state immediately. This is in your I mean, it's a frightening prospect, a horrifying. They're saying off with their heads. No, I mean, that's what they're doing. The roaches are. No, I mean, that's what they're doing. And the victor's like, oh, the roaches are scurrying about. Prince Philip has tried to eliminate them, and we've overrun the nation with brooding foreigners we can use to put it into the police force and the CPS to kidnap their children. But these filthy Brits who don't like our German royal family, that runs everything, the Saxe-Coburg-Goethers, and we will deal with them. I mean, literally, Charles looked even more. Protect me, Roy. Literally, Charles looked even more effeminate than his wife, just going, oh, protect me, royal guard. But, excuse me, instead of Queen Elizabeth around them, they're like, second. Very family. The rabble filth and look at them running around like vermin in the streets. I can't wait till our world government extermination force is in place to remove as many of them as possible. Oh, I love sucking off of them, but goodness, I like to go out to the theater dressed up like an effeminate peacock with all of my medals festooning my breast, with my haglet. The theater dressed up like my breast, with my theater dressed up like an effeminate peacock with all of my medals festooning my breast.
Can anybody name a thespian anywhere near Jones's level? Be hard pressed. You'd be hard pressed.
I love you. They hate you. Now start loving yourself or start being a slave. God, it's so simple. They're literally selling death. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. getting all the poison dyes and fluoride and the garbage out. No. We want to have the sickest dying kids in the world. Abolish the family, build our communities. Why the nuclear family is unsustainable and how to destroy it. That's liberal publications like The Medium. That's what it's all about. That's the plan. The COVID vax attacking women's over. But over the weekend, I talked to multiple individuals. Very, very exciting thing. Presidential mass pardon for all the things they lock people up for that are nonviolent. We can't ever have them have a right to a gun. Well, if they're going to engage in crime again, they're not going to follow the law. And so, because somebody 20 years ago was drunk driving and crashed into people and injured them, and then they got a decade in prison, their time served. Why can't they have a gun? Then the criminals come after them. The criminals that don't follow laws. So until 68 Gun Control Act, you get out of prison for anything. You can go buy a gun that day. You could buy guns at Sears Roebuck. You could buy a Thompson submachine gun through the mail. Do we have more crime or less? We had less. No, all the gun control is for law-abiding people. And you want to reform the criminal justice system across the United States. Down, up High Clint Eastwood classic, but it's based in how it was. Up High Plains Drifter leaving the prison scene.
Welcome, Karate Master 13. If we have Avatar awards, I mean, Karate Master 13's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. In the lead for best Avatar is Karate Master 13. Saying Alex Jones reminds me of a GTA character. Oh man, he's definitely larger than life. Angle of Elevation asks, has any celeb ever used festooning? I've never heard anybody use that word ever. Festooning. I mean, think about the level of intellect of Joe, because he's just riffing improv on all of this stuff. I mean, I don't even know if he prepares bits. It really seems like he just improvs randomly when the mood strikes, and he just does whatever. I mean, when would he even have time to rehearse just all the countless hours of random stuff he does? Justin Johnson says Alex is one of a kind.
Getting out of prison scene, getting out of jail scene. Clint Eastwood classic. So, a Clint Eastwood classic, but it's based in how it was. Well, they wouldn't expect to let somebody out of prison and then not give them their guns back. So, again, you've been punished. You've gone to jail for what you were convicted of by a jury. You don't lose your rights after that. You think all the illegal aliens and MS-13 and TDA, you think they follow the law? The 68 Gun Control Act has been used to try to destroy the Second Amendment. It's been overturned by all these courts, including the Supreme Court, but it's still bureaucratically being enforced. So that is a beautiful thing. But also the new head of the pardon, U.S. Attorney in all deep state, Earl Pambo, it was sending money to them, sending money by the deep state. And now that people want action, well, you got to get in, you got to get through the system, use the real deal. But we're still funding, or they go buy them in Mexico. This is, well, they're just going to start indicting the minions that are still more. Well, you just tell us what your bosses did, and then they get that boss, and then that boss, and then now the next boss talks about the little closed door meetings and how the money's getting sent around the way into Europe and back to the Democrat Party leaders. So we have due process in this country, so people that want instant action, a little while, but that's what 68.
Get your tickets back here to. No, there they are.
His predecessor, Joe Biden, is a Republican. Still grab people. It is happening. Found. Trump wants the children found, but populist. That said, say it. Epstein is Senator Kennedy, right?
And in the metropolitan there he is. She worked all that page. Palm Beach Justice Department. I asked. I mean, you're supposed to check them every. Just
the body language. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to start the next hour. Come on, please. U.S. United. Before we go to break, good news. They got a bunch of methylene blue in quicker than we thought. And so we're boxing in Optimal Human back in stock, all with big discounts. Incredible new ball caps, the widest selection of Patriot. Buy two, get two. Doesn't want to eat, and you don't hate them enough. We'll find. Just look. Their actions are pure evil, and they look like serial killers or something because they are. Themselves onto you. Well, guess what? I love myself, and I love you. Oh.
We're going to law.
Oh. Speak a president saying that from the his shoulder.
Top of that, very, very exciting. Have way worse demographics than I was told of that. Using Pain MD for about a month. It's amazing. You will simply do your own research. It goes away. Really simple though. Just look at them. Look at Keir Starmer. Look at Macron. Look at these people. Look at Hillary Clinton. Just look. God, it's so simple. Ugh. And Trump loves putting women in how to destroy it. That's liberal publication. Attacking women's new, very, very exciting things. Trump has given them the order and crashed into people and cranking up the staffing. We have survived over and over again in court. There's a critical hearing coming up where we could be shut down next month. But it's been your support and the products you bought from us that have allowed us to be able to have the legal defense that's had us hang on this long. So bring us close in federal court, and it's for our legal differential let down. All highest central pain. Go read the review info. Trump does hateful, demonic. Putting women, liberal publications like the Medium, attacking women's ovaries. Oh, they knew from sources and all. But over the lot of ago, process the paperwork on violent. We can't them. That's been where so her in fake arrested, then high-fiving the cops and they took the cuffs off. We know it was cops planted the pipe bomb. We know. And now there's going to be prosecutions. And with racketeering cases, just getting money to themselves, using money. persecution to give it, but and Trump got in from good sources and made the guards pass out.
File cap there.
Flip. U.S. El Diablo.
You have
on, and the judges.
Hunter Biden is
out of
essential, but all the other trace elements and vitamins and
It's Alex Jones.
But
back out. So
I think that there was one other spot that was kind of funny, but can't find it now. Unless we already listened to it. Alright, anybody got any more questions here? Alright, Justin Johnson says, I think Elon is also a masked actor. Angle of Elevation says, Elon probably has AJ's DNA ready to clone for his AI bot army. Can you imagine some kind of show with just a whole bunch of Alex Jones playing different characters? It would probably be better than, I mean, his ability is so incredible, he can play any character, so that'd probably be better than different people playing different characters. Just a whole bunch of Alex Jones clones. Although that'd be kind of scary, too. Lord Zed says, I wanted to ask about Dahmer's altar. Oh, that's pretty dark. That's pretty dark. Yeah, I need to do another episode in the Dahmer series. A lot of questions I still didn't cover in the Dahmer series. If you haven't checked out the Dahmer series on Mindshock, make sure you check that out. Two episodes so far. I do have a third episode. I do need to release that pretty soon. Yeah, I'll go over a lot more stuff there, as well as the theory that there's a lot of MK Ultra mind control going on with a lot of the serial killers, and they're not, so to speak, organically behaving. Lord Zed says, well, I heard the theory serial killers are in a cult together, but I never did a deep dive. Not exactly. Supposedly, Programmed to Kill actually went over this, where serial killers are MK Ultra'd at military installations, and then unleashed to do what they will. Justin Johnson says, these alleged serial killers are false flags. I know it sounds redundant that I think everything is fake, but if their mouths are moving, they are lying. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff about the serial killers. Yeah, definitely a lot of weird stuff. Alright, we're going to round this out. If Clark was here, I know what he'd want to... I know what clip he would request. Oh, Pinto Sack, are you still in here? I just noticed your first comment. For some reason, it didn't come up before. Lord Zed says, bro, what you're saying plus cult. All have altars, etc. upon front of the... yeah, no, there were definitely some that are working together in some kind of capacity. I don't know if I saw anything specific about a cult. But yeah, there was also a bunch of separate MK Ultra serial killers working individual. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on with the serial killers. For sure. Alright, what are we going to finish this? We're going to round this out here. What's the final point here? Final question, final video request. What are we doing here? We haven't got over Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal or Roller Jam? What's the, Justin Johnson says, I want to be ninja. Man, I already forgot about that, even though I don't know how, because that's pretty awesome. Ninja. Lord Zed says, I'll stick with my Dustin Diamond rabbit hole. Oh, man. Lord Zed's got to be the king of the 90s references on here. From Dustin Diamond to John Stamos. Heracles wants more Alex Jones. We need to have this has to be more of a variety show. I know a lot of people don't even like Jones. I mean, obviously I have endless material. I mean, we can go for thousands of, I probably literally have thousands of hours He's been on air for tens of thousands. I probably have at least a couple, at least 2 or 3 of those. So, we need more variety here. Anybody have a request? Roller Jam? Steven Seagal? Lord Zez says, can our homework be the Stamos movie? No. The homework is going to be the movie you requested. The, what's his face? Ryan Gosling, Murder by Numbers. That's the one I got. Yeah, I just got it. I actually didn't have it before. And, somehow. And, that's the homework. I'm going to try to get to it tomorrow. So there might not be a live tomorrow, but probably after tomorrow or the day after that. At some point during the weekend. The homework is Murder by Numbers. Although, perhaps the next one, when everybody's watched that one, then on the next live, we'll probably have to do the Stamos movie. Sound like a plan? Alright, everybody watch 2002's Murder by Numbers with Ryan Gosling. We'll go over that one. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for another interesting live Q&A. We never know where we're going to go with these. No topics are off limits. If you want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure you're subscribed, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.